Hello, Tigris98 here again. Today I will be reviewing or just telling you about movies I have seen over the course of time of this week while I've been sick. And they'll be all John Cusack movies. So, the first one I would like to, or the course of the month actually. So the first one I will be talking about is Say Anything, and I'll just read the plots out for them, and then and that's about it. So Say Anything is a 1989 American romantic comedy drama film written and directed by Cameron Crowe and his directional debut. The film follows a romance between Lloyd Dobler, John Cusack, an average student, and Diane Court, Lone Sky, a valedictorian. Immediately after their graduation from high school, they fall in love. Grosse Point Blank. Grosse Point Blank is an American comedy crime film directed by George Armitage and starring John Cusack, Minnie Driver, Alan Arkin, and Dan Aykroyd. The film is 80s revival theme, and the soundtrack features largely independent music from that decade. The film received positive reviews from critics. Serendipity is a comedy. A couple searches for each other's after years go by. The night they remember the night they first met, fell in love, and separated, convinced that one day they'll end up together again. 1408 is a 2000 American psychological based on the book Stephen King's The Body. Stephen King's 1990 short story, by the same title, by Michael Halfstrom, and the stars in the movies are John Cusack, Samuel Jackson, Mary McCormack, Tony Shalhabu, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., and Jasmine Jessica Anthony. The film was released in the United States and Canada. Better Off Dead is a 1985 American teen romantic comedy starring John Cusack and written and directed by Savage Steen Holland. It tells the story of a high school student, Lane Mary, who is suicidal after his girlfriend breaks up with him, but shortly after he finds a way. Shortly after, before Christmas, he finds a new girlfriend and is happy once again. The Sure Thing. The Sure Thing is another 1885 American romantic comedy filmed by Stephen L. Bloom and Jonathan Roberts, directed by Rob Reiner. The film stars John Cusack, Daphne Zungia, and Vivica Lindfors. It introduces Nicolette Sheridan in the title role. The film chronicles across the country journey of a high school student, Walter. That's all I'm going to let you know about that one. The Grifters, we already did a review. 16 Candles. 16 Candles is a comedy film. A girl's sweet 16 birthday party becomes anything but special, and she suffers from embarrassment. Must Love Dogs is another comedy, but it's a comedy, and for the plot it says a 40-year-old preschool teacher looks to the personal for change, pace a relationship with a hilarious result. That's that one. Identity is a mystery film / crime. Stranded in a desolated Nevada motel during a nasty rainstorm, 10 strangers become acquainted with each other. They soon realize they are being killed off one by one because they have the same birthday. And it is really scary, but it's also like a good film if you're for Halloween, if you want to get that little jump scare in you. War Inc. is an action film with John Cusack, and a corporation hires a professional assassin, John Cusack, to pose at a trade show as a trade show representative who must organize the wedding of a Middle Eastern pop star named Yamaka Babia, which will allow him an opportunity to kill a bad Middle Eastern politician who puts everyone in danger. One Crazy Summer is a 1986 romantic comedy film written and directed by Savage Steed Holland once again, starring John Cusack, Demi Moore, Bobcat Goldthwait, Curtis Armstrong, and Joel Murray. The original film scores was corresponded by Corey Larasso. The next movie is Crime Again, and it's called Frozen Ground, and it's based on a true story. And about an Alaskan state trooper partners up with a young woman who had escaped the clutches of a serial killer, Robert Hansen, to bring the murders to bring him to justice, based on actual events. Martian Child is a comedy. A science fiction writer, John Cusack, recently widowed, considers whether to adopt a hyper-imaginative six-year-old boy abandoned, socially rejected. The boy says he's really from Mars. Dragon Blade is a Chinese Hong Kong hysterical action film written and directed by Daniel Lee, starring Jackie Chan. In the film, Chan plays Ho An, the commander of a protection squad and Western Ranger during Han Dynasty. Dragon Blade was released in 3D IMAX on 19th of February 2015. And the stars in the movie are John Cusack, Joseph White, Ling Pang, Sinon Roman Relations, and the director is Daniel Lee again. American Sweethearts is another comedy film. A publicist must deal with a messy public split of his movie co-star while keeping the reporters at bay, pretends to be dating her. The director holds a film print while their director holds their film prints hostage. Love Mercy is based on true events again. It's about the Beach Boys leader Brian Wilson. He struggles to emerge with emerging psychosis as he attempts to craft his avant-garde pop masterpiece. In the 1980s, he is broken, confused man under 24-hour watch of a shady therapist, Dr. Eugene Landy. The Thin Red Line is a 1998 American epic war film written and directed by Terrence Malick, based on a novel by James Jones. It tells fictionalized version of a battle mount of Anaston, which was part of the Guernsey campaign, which was part of a campaign in the Pacific Theater of World War II, portrays the soldiers of the company 1st Battalion. Another great movie with John Cusack is 2005's The Ice Harvest. He plays a shady lawyer and attempts a Christmas Eve crime to swindle the local mob out of some money. But his partner, a strip club owner, might have different plans for the cash. Pushing the Tin is a 1999 comedy film directed by Mike Newell. It centers Nick Falzon, John Cusack, a cocky air traffic controller who quarrels over proving people who's more of a man with fellow employee Russell Bell, Billy Bob Thornton. The film is loosely based around the real world of New York air traffic radar facilities. Grace is Gone. Grace is Gone is a drama. A man, upon hearing his wife was killed off in the Iraqi war, the Iraqi war, a father takes his two daughters on a road trip. So to change their life, they go on a road trip together. That's all it says. And this movie was filmed in 2007. So Anastasia, how much plot here? Anastasia is a 1997 film, American animated music fantasy adventure, directed and produced by former Walt Disney Animation Studios director Don Bluth and Gray Goldman. The association with Fox Animation, distributed by 20th Century Fox, starring voices Meg Ryan, John Cusack, who plays Dimitri, Kelsey Grammer. Stand By Me is again a 1980s film, American coming of age comedy, and based on Stephen King's book The Body. Sorry, I messed up the other book with the Stephen, because I was thinking two different Stephen King movies that John Cusack was in. It was directed by Rob Reiner, starring Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Fendelman, and Jerry O'Connell. The film, whose plot based on Stephen King's novella The Body in 1982, and the title devours from Ben Lee King's Infusion song, which plays over the duration of the film. The Butler is a 2013 film, historical drama events that actually happened, directed, produced by Lee Daniels and Danny Strong, written by Danny Strong. It is inspired by Will Haygood's Washington Pride article, A Butler Who Served by the Election Lousy, based on his real life of Eugene Allen, who worked in the White House for decades for presidents. The next movie is based on an Edgar Allan Poe, and it's a crime slash thriller called The Raven. When a madman begins committing crimes inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's work, a young Baltimore detective joins forces with Edgar Allan Poe to stop the killer from making the stories a reality. From making Poe's stories a reality. The Maps to the Stars. So Maps to the Stars is a 2014 international produced strategical drama produced by David Copperberg and starring Julianne Moore, Mia Wyszkowska, John Cusack, Robert Pattinson, Olivia Williams, Sarah Gedden, and Evan Bird. The screenplay was written by Bruce Wagner, who had written the novel which would be entitled Dead Stars, which inspired the film. Eight Man Out is a 1988 film sports drama based on the Elliot Ashford 1963 book, The Eighth Man Out, The Black Sox, and the 1919 World Series. It was written and directed by John Silas. The film was dramatized by Major League Baseball's Black Sox scandal and the 8 members of the Chicago White Sox conspired with the government and the baseball league. So there will be a part 2. I don't want this video too long, so I am going to film another part 2 to these films of John Cusack's I have watched, because there's plenty of them. So I will leave you off here, and I will start filming part 2.